Savinho to Spurs. Tottenham line up £73 million record-breaking bid as Brazilian pushes hard for North London move. Welcome back to Tottenham News Today channel. Tottenham are ready to make a £73 million bid to sign Savinho from Manchester City. With the Brazilian keen on a move to North London, the 21-year-old is increasingly convinced that his future lies in North London under Thomas Frank. Sources close to the negotiations have confirmed that Tottenham have already scheduled direct meetings with Manchester City officials in order to push the deal forward and resolve the final obstacles. Spurs are determined to avoid this becoming a drawn-out saga, with both clubs aware that the deadline is fast approaching. Tottenham's intent is crystal clear. They want Savinho, and they are ready to make a record-breaking offer to secure him. For Savinho himself, the desire to make the move is now undeniable. After Tottenham's emphatic 2-0 victory over City at the Etihad on Saturday, the Brazilian has become even more convinced that joining Spurs would be the right step for his career. That result not only highlighted Tottenham's upward trajectory under Thomas Frank, but also exposed the frailties in Pep Guardiola's side frailties that could be patched with the financial boost City would receive from a £73 million sale. The winger has already been in close contact with Spurs boss Thomas Frank, who has shared his long-term vision for the project. Frank, speaking after the win over City, emphasised that he expects at least 2 more signings before the window shuts, with Savinho a clear priority to elevate the squad. Conversations have also taken place with Richarlison and Pedro Porro, who have both spoken positively to Savinho about life at Tottenham and the ambition driving the club forward. In fact, Savinho's commitment to the move is already formalised. There is a total agreement in place between the player and Tottenham over a 5-year contract running until June 2030, with an option to extend for a further season. From the player's perspective, everything is settled. All that remains is for Manchester City to give the green light. With the 2026 World Cup looming large, Savinho knows that consistent playing time in a starring role will be vital if he is to cement his place in the Brazil squad. At City, opportunities remain limited given the stacked depth of Guardiola's attacking options. At Tottenham, however, he would immediately become a marquee player on the left flank, a position Spurs have been desperate to upgrade with genuine quality. The presence of Savinho's agents at the Etihad Stadium over the weekend only strengthens the belief that negotiations are reaching their decisive stage. Tottenham have made it clear that they are not only willing but fully committed to putting forward a record-breaking proposal. Sources suggest that a £73 million offer would be more than enough to make City reconsider their stance, particularly given the defensive reinforcements Guardiola is keen to bring in following that bruising defeat to Spurs. The momentum is firmly with Tottenham. With Savinho desperate for the move, it now feels like only a matter of time before Manchester City relent. This is no longer just a possibility, it is rapidly becoming a probability. Tottenham Hotspur looks set to deliver their new star, and Savinho himself is ready to shine in North London. According to fresh reports from Football Insider, Monaco are now prepared to accept a bid in the region of £47.5 million from Tottenham Hotspur for their highly rated attacking midfielder, Magnus Akliouche. The 23-year-old Frenchman has long been regarded as one of the brightest young midfielders in League One, and with Monaco finally opening the door to negotiations, Spurs appear closer than ever to landing a player many consider to be a generational talent. Tottenham have been actively scouring the market for a natural number 10 throughout this transfer window, with manager Thomas Frank making no secret of his desire to add creativity, vision and flair to his squad before deadline day. Having already missed out on alternative targets, the North London club have now turned their full focus to Akliouche, who is believed to be right at the top of the list in terms of technical ability and tactical fit. For Frank, Akliouche is viewed as the ideal player to slot into his system. The Frenchman possesses exceptional ball control, intelligence in tight spaces, and the ability to both score and create in equal measure. At just 23, he has the potential to grow into one of Europe's most influential attacking midfielders, and Tottenham believe this deal could secure them a long-term cornerstone for their project. The figure of £47.5 million is seen as fair value for a player of his profile, and with Monaco ready to cash in, The sense in France and England alike is that this transfer could move swiftly in the final days of the window. Negotiations have reportedly been positive, and Tottenham's willingness to meet Monaco's valuation underlines just how determined they are to secure Akliouche's signature. Spurs insiders are confident that the move is edging closer to completion, especially with the club desperate to avoid going into the final weeks of the campaign without a natural playmaker. Sources close to the situation suggest that Tottenham will do everything necessary to finalise the deal, and there is growing optimism in North London that Akliouche will soon be unveiled as their new number 10. For Tottenham, this could prove to be a defining moment of the transfer window, a statement signing that not only fills a crucial gap in Frank's side, but also signals Spurs' ambition to build a team capable of competing at the very highest level. With Monaco ready to sell and Tottenham ready to buy, the stars are aligning for what increasingly looks like an inevitable transfer. According to the Daily Mail, Tottenham are now seriously accelerating their efforts to bring Nico Paz to North London, with the club working tirelessly to secure a creative number 10 before the transfer window slams shut on deadline day. Having lost out on Eberechi Eze, who opted for a move to Arsenal, Spurs find themselves under pressure to land a playmaker capable of dictating games, unlocking defences, and breathing new life into Thomas Frank's evolving system. With time running out, attention has decisively shifted towards Paquetá, the Brazilian maestro who has been dazzling in the Premier League with West Ham. The 26-year-old has kicked off the new season in breathtaking form, once again underlining why he is considered one of the most technically refined midfielders in England. His extraordinary combination of flair, vision and dynamism makes him the ideal player to step seamlessly into Tottenham's ambitious project under Frank. Unlike Eze, who proved unattainable, Paquetá represents a realistic and highly achievable target, and insiders believe Spurs are willing to move swiftly and decisively to close this deal. For West Ham, however, this would be nothing short of a devastating blow. Having already endured the painful departure of Mohamed Kudus earlier this summer in a £55 million switch to Spurs, the thought of losing another talisman to the same London rivals borders on unthinkable for the Hammers faithful. Watching Paquetá swap East London for N17 would not only strip their midfield of its creative heartbeat, but would also strengthen one of their fiercest adversaries at a pivotal point in the campaign. From Tottenham's perspective, the financials could not be more favourable. West Ham are believed to value Paquetá at around £35 million, a figure well within Spurs' reach, particularly when compared with the inflated sums often demanded for Premier League stars. For a player of Paquetá's calibre, £35 million is regarded inside Tottenham as a potential bargain, and with Daniel Levy under growing pressure to back Thomas Frank in the market, there is a strong expectation that this deal will be pursued aggressively. The timing could hardly be better. Spurs are riding a wave of momentum following their emphatic victory over Manchester City, and there is a growing sense of optimism around the club. The addition of Paquetá would not only bolster their attacking options, but also send a powerful statement across the Premier League that Tottenham are intent on challenging at the very highest level this season. Crucially, sources suggest that Paquetá himself is open to the move. The Brazilian international is reportedly intrigued by the idea of a fresh challenge in North London, and with Spurs determined to complete at least 2 major signings before deadline day, there is an increasing belief that Paquetá could soon be donning a Spurs shirt. Now the responsibility falls squarely on Daniel Levy and the Tottenham board. At £35 million, this is a transfer that makes both footballing and financial sense, a golden opportunity to transform Tottenham's attacking dynamics while weakening a direct rival. For Paquetá, the time may have arrived to take the next step in his career. For Spurs, the moment to act is now. That wraps up today's update. If you enjoyed the video and want to stay in the loop with all things Tottenham, don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell for our latest content. Be sure to give this video a like and share it with fellow Spurs supporters. Let's grow the Tottenham News Today community together. Thanks for tuning in, and as ever, come on you Spurs!